Hi, this is your Houston chiropractor, Dr. Tristan White, coming to you from Advanced Chiropractic Relief in Houston, Texas. And today I'm joined with Troy. Troy is a local Houstonian here and was actually in a recent video with us here in Advanced Chiropractic Relief. As you guys probably saw, he was in the background of one of our most recent videos with Miss Angela. He did a pretty unique reaction to the ring dinger. I loved some of your facial expressions watching Miss Angela get adjusted that first time. But Troy's coming in today. He's previously dealt with some left shoulder pain in the past, a little bit of lumbar spine or low back pain, none that travels down the legs, and he used to get a little bit of neck pain or stiffness on occasion as well. But Mr. Troy is not experiencing any of those issues right now, so this is a key point that I wanted to focus on here, is that chiropractic is a beautiful profession because you don't have to be in severe acute pain to come get adjusted. Much like Miss Angela's case, where she had been dealing with something very chronic because of motor vehicle accidents, all these other circumstances that happened in her life, she's obviously going to be experiencing a great deal of pain from those. And so stuff like that does get patients into our office, but you don't have to be in those circumstances to come get adjusted. And so that's where Mr. Troy saw how good Angela was feeling after her visit last week. And I'll let you share a little bit about how Miss Angela was over the weekend and talk a little bit about yourself and what made you want to come get adjusted today.
Well, the biggest notice was that after she had been adjusted and gotten the ring dinger for the first time in 5 years, she didn't have complaints about pain anywhere. So if you go somewhere and you have an adjustment made from a regular chiropractor, or you go to a massage medical therapist, that lasts for maybe a couple of hours, could be a day, and then you're back to the same routine where something's hurting again, and it could even be worse. Yep. So after her exam, I was waiting for the worst, you know, for it to come back.
Right.
So she went home and she took her bubble bath like she normally does, and then, you know, the next morning was the telltale. Yep. So she did have a little bit of soreness, like a workout, right. But she had no pain. And beautiful. So here we are 7 days later, and that's what made me decide to come in and just be proactive.
Yes, sir.
Just to, because I've never had an adjustment of any kind. So.
Hey, well, he's gonna be a little spoiled in this office today, so let's check out that posture first. So have you close those eyes, flex the head all the way forward for me, and all the way backwards. Good, and then back to neutral. Now, Mr. Troy's a side sleeper too, so I can see his head's forward and it's rotated off to the left-hand side. His left hand looks a little bit longer than his right. It's not actually, it's just because that head's forward and off to the left here. So Mr. Troy, I'll have you go face down here into this paper for me. We already completed his history and exam. Was that thorough, by the way,
yes.
Mr. Troy? Good. So I'm going to check the leg length first. We're short on the left in this position by about 1/2 inch. And as I bring him up, it gets even, actually gets longer by about 1/4 inch. And that does tighten up in his pelvis, and he even set into this mid-thoracolumbar junction here as well. So you're gonna feel this table dropping out from underneath you, okay? Okay. We're gonna start on this left-hand side first. You get the easy job today, okay? You just gotta breathe and relax.
Okie dokie.
All right. Right side joint. Move into the lumbar spine now. These could smart a little bit, but that's just because they haven't been adjusted before. Good. Last one here. Good. Perfectly even now. And they stay even. Does that feel easier this time, Mr. Troy?
Yes.
Good. Felt easier on my end. I like just asking you and making sure. It's always good to see those pre and post changes, because then you know we're actually making an effect to that spine and pelvis. So take a nice deep breath in, going all the way out. Oh yeah. It's like moving little Volkswagens on you instead of little vertebra. Good. Deep breath in. All the way out. Oh yeah. One more here, nice deep breath in. Really let those shoulders just drop, drop, drop. Oh yeah, I know you felt that one too.
I did.
A lot deeper when you're getting it done yourself rather than just watching, huh?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you to scoot down about 1/2 inch just to get those shoulders off that headpiece.
Back to you?
Yep, just down the table. Check it, those shoulders off that headpiece there. You're gonna feel the table popping up underneath you. Remember that forward head posture that I showed you in the mirror? This is where we're gonna work on that. We're gonna work on establishing this normal forward cervical lordosis. Good. Face up for me now, please, sir. I'll get you to scoot down towards me just a little bit further. There you go. Tighten this up just a touch. And again, I'm working on getting that head back up over those shoulders. Good. Arms out to the side like a big old T. Got you sweating, that's how I know I got a good adjustment going. It's that sympathetic nervous system. You can just scoot down just a touch more towards me. Perfect. Work on these clavicles next. There we go. Slipped on that shirt on that first one. Good. Now put those hands right there on that tummy for me. Let this leg go like a limp rag. We're gonna make you taller from this end first. Should have felt that from your knee all the way up into your low back, did you?
Yeah.
Good. Same thing here. Let this leg go for me. Oh yeah. All right. We'll sit you up and face me now. Perfect. Yep. Send those legs all the way around. Work on these shoulders next. This is where I get my workout. Working on big guys like you all day. I'm doing my curls and everything right here. There we go. And then here on this side. A little bit of gravel on this shoulder, huh? Is that when you injured?
No.
Feel that over that AC joint crunching.
No pain though.
There we go. Better on
I'm
that
not
second
sure what
one.
you're hearing.
So you don't necessarily always hear the cavitation, but we're moving that joint through a normal range of motion, and sometimes I'll feel just a thud or even just motion underneath there.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't always necessarily let out that big pleasing crack noise that you hear on the internet.
I gotcha.
That's usually it's a subsequent thing to the actual adjustment itself. It's just a little nitrous gas that's being released from that joint capsule when we're moving it through that normal range of motion. Because there were some in your lumbar spine that moved as well that you don't get the nice satisfying crack, but I still feel those lumbar vertebrae shifting underneath my hand. Oh yeah.
Felt that.
Yep.
Hopping all over the place.
Yeah, crack addict's gonna love you. All right, well, it's decompression now, okay?
Okay.
Our piece de resistance right here. We're gonna go butt here, head up this way towards me. Now they get to see your reaction. Miss
Right.
Angela.
I'll try not to look.
So have you started sleeping like this yet, Troy?
No.
I know you were a little skeptical that first time I told you about it.
Yeah, no.
Promise
I'll
you,
tell you, I didn't even attempt it.
I slept like, hey, at least you're honest. That's what we like in this office too, the honest patients. So, yeah, let me get you to scoot towards me about an inch or so down the table.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. You're a little longer than the average bear, so we're gonna bring these legs up just a little bit more. Good. So they should feel pretty relaxed for yourself now as well, because with these shins and legs up,
Yeah.
it rotates that pelvis back and flattens that entire lumbar spine, and then relaxes those paraspinal muscles all the way to the top.
Definitely not uncomfortable.
All right, so have you put those hands right up here on your chest for me, just so I don't get them into these little pins. Good, and then I'll have you stay flat for me, because I don't want you to twist and rotate that
Gotcha.
spine as I'm stabilizing you. There we go. Got the squeeze on you now, huh? Miss Angela, you got any questions or anything? You've been wanting to know some good information from Troy?
Are you nervous?
Only with the way this is grabbing my hips.
Good, so have you relax the head all the way back. Good. I'll wrap this all the way around your chin here. Just a word of advice here, I want you to keep those teeth together. I don't want you to clench them super hard. Just touch those teeth so they're not getting that tongue in between them. Make sure that towel's wrapped around your occiput. Good. Nice deep breath in through the nose. Going all the way out. Wiggle your left big toe for me. And now your right.
Oh,
Good.
shit.
This is where I get my workout.
Did you see stars for a minute?
A little bit.
Deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Yep.
Just lay there.
Home
It
run.
popped in my chest.
We just decompressed your entire spine
Yes,
from your
you did.
occiput all the way down to your sacrum. You're gonna hear all kinds of loud cracking and popping during that
Did you feel it all
adjustment.
the way to your tailbone?
Oh yeah, I felt
Yeah.
it everywhere. Front, back.
Good. So have you tilt to the right with me here. Perfect. To the left. It's you. Now that is your first Johnson BioPhysics adjustment.
Yes, it is.
A little deeper than just sitting in that chair watching, huh? Good. So I'm gonna help you up here. We're gonna check that posture again, okay? So now you stand right here in front of this mirror. Good. You close those eyes one more time, take away that visual stimulation. I want you to bend that head all the way forward, all the way backwards. Good, better range of motion. Go back to neutral. Open those eyes up now. We have a little bit of rotation in there, but again, that's just from the habits that we've created from sleeping on our side and stuff, but we've got that head way back up over those shoulders. We've evened up that spacing here now. Looking great, Mr. Troy.
So on the follow-up side of this,
Mhm.
you don't do this again, right? I mean, this is
So we always decompress when we
Okay.
put patients into this
Okay,
office.
so-
'Cause if you think about it,
Yeah.
gravity is working on your spine 24/7, compressing, compressing, compressing. No matter what you're doing, gravity is constantly pushing down on you. So again, whether you're feeling pain or not, that's still a force that you cannot get away from when you're living here on the beautiful planet of Earth. So you're
Yeah.
constantly getting compressed, compressed, compressed. And so that's why every single time that you come in, we're gonna focus on decompressing your spine. And then next time when you come in, actually, we'll decompress you first and then put you on the other table and work
Okay.
out the kinks that way. So we always put patients on the BioPhysics table first when it's their first treatment in here, just to get a feel for their spine, muscle, and ligamentous stability. So I'm gonna use this little gun here now to relax these paraspinals. The same advice I gave you, you will be sore after this, okay? Much like going to the gym for the first time, these muscles and ligaments are not going to be working out in a different pattern to hold your spine in this new position that we just put you in.
Okay.
So this exercise here is also going to be beneficial for you. I want you to go shoulders up and all the way back. Good. Squeeze those scaps as far as we can and flare those arms out here. So part 2 is the most important. See how the chin goes forward? We want to do the exact opposite and come straight backwards. So before we go into extension, I want you to come straight back and now extend as far back as we can. Good. Little tap there. Little tap there. Good, now relax. I do that same thing where we just close those eyes and bend that head all the way forward, all the way backwards. Good, back to neutral. Perfect. Look in the mirror now. Looking great, Mr. Troy. Standing up tall like a military man. Miss Angela, can you see that difference there just from sitting on the side?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. So Troy, I know you didn't expect a whole lot coming in because again, you came in with zero pain. You saw the results that Miss Angela got. How do you feel now compared to when you started the treatment?
it feels like I can take deeper breaths.
Yes, sir.
You know?
So, and again, that's because of that decompression.
Yeah.
When we're decompressing that entire spine, that rib cage and that sternum also articulate because of the ribs that come around. We can also see the beautiful effects of the breathing and all those things that you're just now discussing. So,
Yeah, and I think now that I've actually had my legs in that position, I may try that.
yeah.
You
So
know,
a good way to start, because again, it's going to be one of the hardest habits to change, is your sleeping pattern.
Yeah.
Because again, you're not conscious for the majority of it. So getting in front of your couch or in front of an ottoman and laying on the floor completely flat with no pillow, legs up on the couch at 90 degrees to relax that lumbar spine. It's a good way to warm up even before you go into bed. And
Yeah,
try to
because
sleep
like
that.
on this table, when the legs were like that,
Mhm.
it's almost like you were floating. There was no tension anywhere.
Yes, sir.
Legs, back,
Yep.
lumbar, didn't matter. Everything was like it was in a neutral gear.
Exactly, and that's exactly why we preach sleeping like that. I know it's one of the hardest things to change. And again, after working on it for 7 years, I'm not perfect either. There's still plenty of
Yeah.
mornings I wake up and I'm on my side, but it's making those conscious efforts to get out of the patterns and the habits that got us into the scenarios. And again, you weren't dealing with a lot of pain, but you could see that still the visual posture changes that come
Yeah.
from sleeping on your side and things that we do in our life, that
Yeah,
our
it is
spine and
different.
our spine and our brain adapt to those positions. That's why we gotta start breaking down those habits and those patterns and start reestablishing this new Troy that we just put you in. So
You
I
look
appreciate
Thank you.
appreciate the opportunity to work on you. Miss Angela's saying he looks taller today. He is probably taller because you're about 2 inches taller than me now. So this is your Houston chiropractor, Dr. Tristan Wynn, coming to you from Advanced Chiropractic Relief with Mr. Troy, and we'll see y'all soon.